So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back in another video. In my opinion, Obi-Wan Kenobi is the perfect example of what it means to be a Jedi. The dude lost his master, lost his lover, lost his Padawan, lost the entire Jedi Order, and still stayed true to the light side of the Force. And I think he is one of the best characters in the Star Wars universe. So in this video, we're going to be talking about all the Obi-Wan Kenobi figures Hot Toys has made, discussing which is the definitive Obi-Wan Kenobi to have in your collection. First, I want to say thanks for watching. You guys seem to enjoy the last one about Luke Skywalker, so we're going to continue this series. This one is a little different because this is a rare scenario where there has been multiple actors playing one character. So we'll get the easy part out of the way. Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love the representation. It's really hard for me not to love that character more than Ewan McGregor, but I do have more of an affinity for the prequels as I grew up with them. But that scene in A New Hope where he's talking to Luke about Anakin and how they were friends, etc., probably my favorite scene in the entire film. So, being as there's only one Alec Guinness Obi-Wan the Hot Toys has made, yeah, I mean, this is the definitive Obi-Wan for the original trilogy. Remarkable portrait, one of the best they've ever done. It holds up today. I know that if we get a 2.0 of this, they won't have to tweak much, just give it rolling eyes, maybe a better paint application, but man, this figure is exceptional. So if you only collect the OT or you just want the OT representation of Obi-Wan, this is the figure to have. Not only because it's the only one, but it's just remarkable in its own right. So let's get down to the more difficult part. Prequel Obi-Wan, which is the best version? The first one we got from the prequels was the Episode 3 version from Revenge of the Sith. It's not a bad figure by today's standards. If you have Anakin from that timeline, they go well together. But I think due to what has come subsequently, it's kind of a dated figure. Tailoring isn't bad. He looks a little gaunt in the portrait, but by all means, you can tell who it's supposed to be. I still don't think it's the definitive Obi-Wan. Then, of course, we have the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. A figure that I have in my collection. Clone Wars is iconic. This outfit is iconic, along with Tartakovsky 2D outfit that I assume we'll get one day. This figure is great. It's a good stand-in for a prequel Obi-Wan if you don't have one. The likeness in the portrait is the best to date, in my opinion, of that era of Ewan McGregor. It's a great option. Then right after that, we got the announcement of the Mandalorian Obi-Wan from that episode or arc in the Clone Wars where he goes to Mandalore and confronts Maul. Spoilers, some pretty sad stuff happens. It's the exact same portrait, just reused, and this was an exclusive, a cash grab. Nothing wrong with that, but if you're only going to have one Obi-Wan, this probably isn't the one for you. Then moving on to Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Kenobi series. Now the photos I have here are of the prototype. The figure was updated and honestly improved significantly by the time it was released. I think the portrait on the figure is pretty good. I think it's just as good as the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. I'm not sure if it's 100% reuse. It looks a little older, the crow's feet, etc., more exaggerated. The hair sculpt is really nice, but to be honest, this show was dog shit. I get, wanting to have representation of this character and maybe, using your headcanon to just put him there and say he's from somewhere in between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. But yeah, having representation from this show specifically, there's no way that I would have this figure, even if it is remarkable. So by saying that, I don't think this is the definitive Obi-Wan either. I'll throw in a little Easter egg here. We have the Sideshow Mythos Obi-Wan. I actually own this figure for a short period of time. It's really not bad. I think it's comparable to older Hot Toys portraits. It's sort of a mashup between a young Alec Guinness and a Ewan McGregor. I think it's a really decent sculpt, to be honest. But, Sideshow and their bodies can be sort of a letdown. Now, we haven't gotten an Episode 1 or Episode 2 Obi-Wan yet. In my opinion, I would really love to see an Episode 1 more so than episode 2, just because, I mean, the Phantom Menace, that look of Obi-Wan is, in my opinion, more iconic. I know everybody loves the mullet Obi-Wan, but if I were to have a second Obi-Wan, I'd lean more towards Phantom Menace. That being said, we've gone through every modern 1/6 scale Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, and we haven't really reached a verdict. Well, that's because we're going to have to kitbash a little bit. I've seen a few people do this on Reddit. I know Boston Collectors did it. Uh, it's probably the best thing to do for a best of the best definitive Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that is taking the Clone Wars Obi-Wan, breaking it down, body swapping it with the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan outfit. I wholeheartedly believe that they're not going to retool that Obi-Wan portrait. I think they'll probably do exactly this for Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. And you can't really blame them. I mean, that portrait is pretty good. I don't see how you could really improve on it. And I don't see why they would invest the R&D to retool what is already a 9.5 portrait just for an outfit swap. So I think this would be an expensive endeavor. I think you'd have to either already have these two figures to justify doing that. I wouldn't go chasing down episode 3 Obi-Wan, even if they are coming down in value, just to take the clothes and, swap it. But as I said, I think that would be a remarkable figure and probably the best you can get in a 1/6 scale. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Have you thought about doing this body swap with the episode 3 and Clone Wars Obi-Wan? I'd love to, but I really just can't justify investing into it right now. Drop down in the comments what you like to see next. What figure or character should we talk about next in the next video? You guys should decide. I'm all for it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, see you in the next one.